Hello everyone, today is September 2nd. It is day 332 of the war between Israel and Hamas, and today is a very sad day in Israel. We have here Yediot Achronot, and we're dealing with the murder, the execution of 6 hostages that were in Gaza, and it says here, Hake'ev v'hazam, the pain and the rage, the outrage. We have here Hirsch Goldberg Polin, Alex Lovonov, Uri Danino, Carmel Gat, Eden Yerushalmi, and Almog Sarusi. And then the second article that we'll go through today is this one. Roni Nikbar Lead Bito Mor. Roni was buried next to his daughter Mor, Shedafla Bashvi Lasri, that fell on the 7th of October. Let's go to our first article for today. It says here, יכולנו להציל אותם, we could have saved them. 11 חודשי טעויות, 11 months of mistakes. Hamas are those who pulled the trigger, but our hands are not clean from the blood of the hostages. Netanyahu vetoed the deal and is misleading the public and the families. The IDF keeps saying the same mantra that only military pressure will bring the hostages back. A few days ago, the IDF found the bodies of 6 hostages in Rafiach inside the tunnels. They had gunshot wounds to their head and to their bodies, very clear signs of neglect. And what's really sad about it is the fact that, as it says here, we could have saved them. The autopsy showed that they were shot just a day or a day and a half before the IDF got to them. They were about a kilometer away from Farhan al-Qadi, which was the rescued hostage from last week. The feeling right now in all of Israel is that everyone is grieving. Everyone has gone out to the streets to protest in the hundreds of thousands in different places in Israel. And here you can see one of those massive protests with Israeli flags combined with the yellow ribbon, which is the symbol to the hostages. Every single moment for the hostages there is super critical, and that's why the outrage against Netanyahu is so strong. Here it says, Mismach Hadamim, the file of blood. Here it says this file was dipped in the blood of the 6 hostages that were murdered. And here you can see Netanyahu. 2 of the names actually in the hostage deal that could have gone through in May were 2 that were murdered these last few days. So one is Hirsch Goldberg Polin, and the other one is Eden Yerushalmi. Coming into work today from Jerusalem, the city was basically empty, but also very, very eerie. I passed by the cemetery in which Hirsch is going to be buried in today. And you have to understand that when the hostage families hurt, we all hurt. And so what you'll actually see is thousands of people, not just protesting on the streets, but thousands will also come to the funeral of these hostages that were returned back to Israel. Some of them were buried yesterday, some of them will be buried today. But it's truly heartbreaking. And it also shows the unity of the Israelis who want to bring the hostages back, because truly, again, when they hurt, we all hurt. And to drive the point even further, here you have just a public ad from the families of the hostages and the missing people. It says, Netanyahu, Ben Gvir, and Smotrich, hefkartem, you've neglected us, you've abandoned us. And you can actually see this kind of language and these kinds of ads all over Israel. It might be a bit hard if you're looking and watching these videos from afar to understand who these people are for us as Israelis. And here, they actually dedicated whole pages of the newspaper to them. Here you can see the family of Hirsch. The headline is Kama chikinu lecha Hirsch, how much we've waited for you, Hirsch. Here you have Almog Sarusi. Now you are with Shachar Ahuvatcha. Shachar is his girlfriend that he actually stayed with after she was shot by Hamas, and he refused to just abandon her there in the field, and he tried to save her. Here you have Carmel Gat. Slicha shenatanu lem la'arog otach. We're sorry that we allowed them to kill you. Carmel actually really helped the people, the hostages in the tunnels, by doing yoga with them, by doing meditation to help them calm down. Really heroic people, even in their captivity. Alex Lovonov, Tom Vekai, they are the biggest gifts that you could have left us. So Tom's wife was actually had a 2-year-old at home. He was a bartender at the Nova Festival. His wife was pregnant at the time, and he said that, you know, by 9 a.m. he's going to be home. It's all going to be okay, but he never made it home. So now his wife is widowed with a newborn. Here you have Eden Yerushalmi. It says, in the minharot of Aza, in the tunnels of Aza, you were a light in the darkness. Eden just had a birthday, but her family would never be able to celebrate another one of her birthdays. And then you have Uri Danino. You chose to rescue others even though you were already outside. So Uri actually was at the Nova Festival and he escaped there, but when he realized that his friends were unable to escape, he went back and tried to rescue them, and that is how he became a hostage in Gaza. So all of these people are not just victims of Hamas, they're heroes in Israel. And now for the shooting attack at the Tumia Checkpoint. It says here, kever mul kever, grave next to another grave, shoter v'shoteret, a policeman and policewoman, av v'bito, a father and his daughter. So Roni Shkuri was one of the policemen that was shot down yesterday by terrorists at this checkpoint. 11 months ago, he actually lost his daughter Mor, a policewoman, at the Sderot police station. If you guys remember, there was a huge, devastating attack on that police station. Many police officers died there. The reality in Israel is that a lot of families actually have many casualties, not just one or two. You also have Aryeh ben Eliyahu, that it says about him, Kol davar shenagata bo afach lezahav, everything that you touched became gold. Another officer that was killed in that event. Here you also have Hadas Branch, Isha Atzilat Nefesh, a woman of noble character. Here you can see the grieving families surrounded by the police colleagues, and Roni and Mor, grave next to grave, just 11 months later. Here we have a cartoon. Here you can see Bibi Netanyahu with the dog tag that's associated with the hostages, and it says Tzir Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Axis. The Philadelphia Axis is the reason why the hostage deal has not gone through. It's basically a strip of land between Egypt and Gaza through which there are tunnels. There were thought to be about 10 tunnels, but actually they found 70 tunnels through which Hamas basically brings ammunition through. So that is the real critical reason why they're not wanting to go through with the deal, because they say that if the deal goes through and Israel doesn't have control over this axis, then we could have massacres here even worse than what happened on October 7th. And now for some good news from the Paralympics. We have a winner, and it says here, Hanitzachon, in one of Israel's most terrible days when they announced that the hostages were killed. We have Moran Samuel that won a gold medal for rowing, as well as another few Israeli athletes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more Israel content, go to allisrael.com, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.